Hello, everyone. I wanted to keep you updated with some of the latest things that have come into my awareness, due to my ability of seeing and to keep people updated and have the ability to be able to make changes or adjust to some of the things that are happening. We know that we're in a very strange time right now, and we can't control what comes into our reality, but what we can do is decide whether or not we want to accept it into our experience. Now, certain things we can't accept, or we can't change. We can't necessarily change certain things in our life or relationships and so forth, or what we can, I suppose. But what I'm talking about is an intrusion from other dimensional space. And so for my own conscience, I feel like I need to share this. The word that kept coming up to me is the word Malaise. Now, the word Malaise is Malaise, or I believe it's a French word. I don't speak fluent French. Most of you know that I do have a concern for the Yellow Vests, but the Yellow Vest cause, the independence or revolution, or however they perceive it, the silent, peaceful protest. So I'm going to just define malaise, and it's related to the AI. So malaise means a general feeling of discomfort, illness, or unease, whose exact cause is difficult to identify. So, it could be like tiredness or, kind of drained and not able to focus or whatever. And it started off by, I heard the word simultaneously when I saw this weird overlay, which almost had a kind of look of a chemtrail crisscrossing and then kind of fading into each other. And that, here again, that could contribute to what we would call an AI overlay because of all the heavy metals that are involved in some of these chemtrails. But this could be even something else too, an entry or a new AI construct that is being sent to us into our present reality. So this is the information I got regarding it. It's an establishment of an overlay construct with many layers of expressions, causing a strange materialization or of this malaise or indifference from your current reality. So what you're supposed to be experiencing is being altered by this. It could also be used for weaponization and creating, potentially influencing people with aggression, indifference, immobilization, feeling like you just don't have the motivation to do certain things, a refusal to acknowledge obvious truths. I've even had some people tell me they're feeling anxious, unexplained hostility, someone just getting triggered, and we already know that they are triggering, and getting people to respond, or creating a field around us that are creating, if you're not conforming to whatever this AI is, it's kind of supporting that kind of energy. And I think ultimately is to reinforce the severe handling, demanding of conformity. So I think it's very important. I recommend, as soon as I saw that, I thought, well, I'm not looking at the AI, and any, like, there's no wires, there's nothing that I can visually see, but I could see the outcome of it. And it's having this like cloudy, murky kind of effect, almost like I said, if you look up at the aftermath of chemtrails and how they kind of just become this sort of a cloudy atmosphere. And to me, that's, a very big concern. And I recommend, to disconnect from it, ask that, this is, something that you don't consent, you don't agree to, and you do not want to be influenced by it. And also, in a unified way, we can ask that it shuts down. Whether one or two individuals introduce this, whether this is government, whether this is ET, I don't know exact origin. I'm assuming that it's a combination of all of it. And what was really weird, too, I heard that it influences our metaverse. The metaverse came up, which is technically a fictional universe, but maybe they're implying something like this is going to induce a fictional universe, collective virtual shared space created by convergence of virtually enhanced physical reality and physically persistent virtual space, including the sum of virtual worlds, augmented reality, and there's also, this is a definition, in the internet. So maybe with some of the issues that are happening from Mobius, there's an attempt to compensate, but I don't have any news on that. But I do know that this didn't feel right to me. It felt like it was going to probably bring us into a deeper level of handling. And so I'd like to shut down, delete, uninstall this program, this AI overlay that some are, hoping to create, to impose on humanity, and then further manipulate people through that. And I just suggest that, everyone pull out of it. So then there was another thing that I saw while doing some private sessions with people, and it looks like a form of anarchists. And I saw people being activated, not just for the shooter program, but for types of anarchy, riotous behavior, and maybe triggered by certain things. Here again, I feel like it was something that was done, a program that was installed in some of the people regarding mind control, the MK Ultra, and something that would be used conveniently to induce riots, but also, lend to the slave camp scenario, Jade Helm and so forth. So I also ask or suggest that if you're feeling that you're being activated in any way in this anarchist program, I recommend pulling out of it, because it probably will not lead to a good direction. And it's good to shut down, delete, and uninstall this program. And I was hearing that it was being called Rex. Now, I don't know who calls it Rex, but it's REX. And, it may be used the name of that, or just an anarchy program. So let me just define this. This is an anarchy for a cause that's not your own. So you might be already, angry or upset about something, and then this actually enhances it and has you react. So you're noticing a lot of these movies that are coming out, that they're trying to induce forms of anarchy. I saw The Joker finally. Not probably one of the more depressing movies I've seen in my life. And, it was a lot to incite riot. And there was also, I think, an Ozzy Osbourne video that I saw, the same thing, all right now. So maybe that is the terminology. Who knows what the trigger of the program and the plan was in that. So that came, I've known about this for a while. The agenda is very clear. We had a series of apocalyptic movies. We had a series of, different types of events. And now, here we're seeing this anarchist kind of rebellion, but which leads to, as we know, the slave camps because in order to get order things, the government's going to be in a situation where they'll have to, take matters in their own hands type of thing. So, if this is not your agenda, if this is not how you feel, reclaim your sovereignty, break out of these systems, these programs. And they could have been implanted in you through my labs or anything else. If you don't feel that this applies to you, then fine. But for those, this message is for those that are concerned, want to be on top of what's going on and feel that they can regain control. The third thing that came up, here is another issue. I don't know if this has been initiated yet. It looks like a black bug, like a beetle of some sort, but it's not quite a beetle. It's a combination of an organic bug and AI. And I saw that being implanted in someone's head. It actually goes into the pleasure center of the head. And in the pleasure center of the head, it's able to determine whether, keeps a person's mood monitored and affected, and when they're not happy, it gives them a burst of pleasure. I saw this as part of a future tactic for a slave system. And so this, the black bug, I'll call it that for now because I don't have any term for it, or parasite could be another term for it. And I talked a bit with Peter about the parasite, kind of having a discussion, and there's probably more than one variation of that. And so what I saw was that people were walking in two rows, completely under mind control, actually wearing some kind of futuristic-looking outfit. This may be, off in the future somewhere, but it could be, related to abductions and so forth as well. And the people, were completely satisfied. They kind of get into that point of just submissive behaviors and just going along with orders, not really seeing themselves as independent and free. And so I think I'm seeing a common thread here of kind of an induction into a hive mind, passive or aggressive, depending on whatever is acceptable, or what it is that the handlers want. To get into the idea of the handlers, it's hard to tell exactly. There's who's conducting some of these programs. That I'm leaning towards the corporations, but there could be some other groups that show up that I'm not aware of just yet. And so, like I said, this is not information. Is not for fear, but for empowerment. For you to be able to take control of the situation, have the knowledge in advance, and say that you don't consent to any of these agendas, and that you want to be free and be able to be helpful for the planet, and have your awareness and your sovereignty still intact. So that's pretty much it for now. And please, write down any response if people are feeling like they're being influenced in any way. We're here. We're here to support one another. This is not an easy time to be in, especially with the coronavirus going on. It's a huge distraction. A lot of other things could be going on at the same time. So keep your ears and eyes open, and also, send protections for your family, friends, and the rest of the world, because, ideally we're all in this together, and we don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to just accept whatever is put in front of us. We want to have our own freedom, and if we want our own freedom, we're going to have to do something about it on an individual basis first, not allowing, not consenting, not getting too involved in any of these agendas or AI or any control systems. I mean, why? I know that they're interesting and they're curious, but why allow that energy to come in and potentially saturate or hook in or do something to your consciousness. So keep your consciousness free. Stay organic. Stay with the earth, and don't allow that integration. Because if you willingly welcome in the AI, that's your choice, but you lose your sovereignty. And it's just really that simple. I did see the future, or a potential future, I say, because there's going to be more options in the future. There will be a highly AI reality run by what I talked about a long time ago was Technotron and those kind of entities where they take over. They're in charge. Humans become the slaves. And we see that, coming up over and over and over again. But what I did see is a gradual integration of even integration of AI into like all natural living things, whether it's our plants or animals or insects. And then also I saw them, going into the astral and even the AI, affecting the astral beings, the earth energies, all sorts of things. So, this is a whole reality that we don't want to participate in. So let's stay aligned with the divine, and let's keep ourselves strong and independent and aware. All right, so that's the message for today. Thank you. Stay strong. And thank you again. Bye for now.